Welcome to my views on news Sunday second video. Firstly, those Tigrayans are continuing their demonstrations across the world. In a previous video 2 days ago, I shared with you a new story regarding upcoming demonstrations across the world, which were urged by Tigray President Debretsion in a meeting with Tigrayan diaspora. A Zoom meeting was held reportedly. We have some pictures from France for you. Secondly, viewers, a video is being shared showing massive mobilization of Ethiopian National Defense Force. How old is this video? What does it indicate? Does it indicate the gravity of the situation, the intensity of the ongoing war? And lastly, viewers, arrests of activists, journalists from Amhara region, pro-Amhara journalists, activists are being arrested. Critical of the government are being arrested. We have seen several arrests, and it is continuing. Another activist, a writer, was arrested a few hours ago. We have details for you. Firstly, viewers, we know that Tigray President Debretsion held a virtual meeting with Tigrayan diaspora a few days ago, I think 4 to 5 days ago. I did a news story on that, did a video on that. And in that meeting, it was urged by the Tigray president that Tigrayan diaspora should organize and they should hold rallies, protests across the world. Protests are going to be held in front of Turkish and UAE embassies too, because we know that in the first and second phases of this war, UAE was involved. In the first phase, reportedly, UAE's wing-long drones were part of the war in support of Ethiopian National Defense Force. Back then, UAE forces, UAE's military equipment was deployed to, it was stationed at Asaye base in Eritrea. And from Asaye base, reportedly, UAE wing-long drones flew to support, to support ENDF and to target TDF positions in the first phase of this war between November 2020 and June 2021. Then in the second phase, from July 2021 till November 2021, again, wing-longs and TB2s were involved and Turkey became involved. So this time, Tigray regional government wants to stop Turkish and UAE's involvement in terms of arming, supporting Ethiopian government. So protests are going to be held across the world, and international community is being approached by Tigrayan diaspora that it should not support Ethiopian government, that no grants, loans should be given to Ethiopian government. So demonstrations are starting. In France, a few hours ago, Tigrayans protested, chanting slogans that genocide of Tigrayans is underway. In coming days, in Geneva and in Canberra, Australia, US and other countries, protests are planned. In Canberra, rally will be taken out in front of UAE and Turkish embassies. You can see some pictures on your screen. The pictures show Tigrayan protesters who protested in France a few hours ago. These demonstrations will intensify, viewers. Tigrayan diaspora has played a key role in internationalizing Tigray conflict. Tigrayan diaspora supports Tigray government as well. It supports financially Tigray government, and Tigray government relies a lot on Tigrayan diaspora. Any decision about the future of Tigray, about resolution to this conflict will need the support of Tigrayan diaspora as well, because this diaspora community has done a lot for Tigray defense force, for Tigray people. Question is, will Tigrayan diaspora be part of the final solution, which will be agreed, or which will happen through military means? Will Tigrayan diaspora continue supporting Tigray regional government in case of a ceasefire agreement, in case of some settlement with Ethiopian federal government? Because what I have understood is that Tigrayan diaspora is overwhelmingly in support of independent Tigray country. It wants secession mostly. I talk to people from all sides, and they overwhelmingly support an independent Tigray, which is not feasible at this point of time without having Asaye Derbe. An independent Tigray is not viable. On all sides, Tigray is encircled by those forces, those regions and countries which are hostile towards Tigray. So I don't think that in this scenario, an independent Tigray is viable option. That is why TPLF is playing with its cards close to its chest. It is not declaring independence, perhaps waiting for the right time, or it has its eyes on Addis Ababa. Demonstrations underway, which will intensify in coming days by a Tigrayan diaspora community. We know that Ethiopian, Eritrean diaspora community also tried to protest in Washington, D.C. Harmila was there, Neiman Zaleke was there, but that protest was not impressive. A small protest, because Amhara diaspora community is not taking part in demonstrations being organized by Ethiopian and Eritrean pro-Ethiopian government communities. That is why Ethiopian, Eritrean protests have lost the bite which they had last year. No more movement is no more, you can say. Secondly, viewers, a video is being shared showing mobilization of Ethiopian National Defense Force. Dozens of buses, if not hundreds, can be seen in the clip. And these types of buses are used by Ethiopian National Defense Force for their mobilization towards front lines. We have seen these buses in some previous videos as well. The video is not a new one. What we have learned, it's from August, from last month reportedly. But the video shows the gravity of the situation, that tens of thousands of ENDF soldiers have been deployed. And both sides are confirming, by the way, viewers, that on southern Tigray front, on Kobo Robit front, Wollo front, on both sides, tens of thousands of soldiers, of fighters were deployed. And same is happening in Dadebut front as well, on Homera front too. Human loss is significant, which is not being reported. No side is reporting human losses suffered by the side or the other side, but no one is reporting it clearly, openly. Only POWs are being shown. If thousands are being taken prisoner, you can imagine how many are getting killed. The video just shows that both sides have deployed tens of thousands of soldiers on different fronts in this war. Watch this clip showing movement of Ethiopian National Defense Force towards front lines on Tigray border. Thirdly, viewers, Ethiopian federal government, Amhara regional government's campaign against dissenting voices is continuing without any let-up. Those who are criticizing the government, those who are criticizing Amhara regional government about the ongoing war in northern Ethiopia and about government's policy regarding OLA's advance in Valaga are being arrested. It has been going on for months. Thousands of activists, journalists, FANO members are in prison. Though Ethiopian federal forces, Amhara regional forces are fighting Tigray forces on different fronts in Amhara region as well. But so far, this policy is unchanged. Dissenting voices are being silenced. Ethiopian federal government has decided that it will not let any dissenting voices in the Amhara region to exist. That is why this campaign is underway. We know that Gobeze Sisse was arrested just, I think, 3 to 4 days ago, a journalist. Second time he was arrested. Then Miaza Muhammad was arrested. She did some news stories about Valaga incident in which hundreds of ethnic Amharas were killed. After that, Amhara Media Center's producer Abe Zaido was arrested yesterday. And today, a writer and activist critical of Ethiopian federal government, Amhara regional government, was arrested too. His name is Asaye Derbe. You can see his picture on the screen. He has been arrested too in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. He was arrested by federal security forces reportedly. So, while government is trying to create unity by celebrating Unity Day in the fight against Tigray Defense Force, in Amhara region, this parallel campaign is also ongoing against dissenting voices. Will it lead to unity in the Amhara region, or will it lead to more splits? That's a question. I personally think that it will lead to splits because this time around Amhara region is not united in the fight against Tigray fighters.